To me, conflict is actually self-inflicted.
What do you think about conflicts in the workplace?
I think writing the right story is critical. Conflicts arise only when you take a position without considering the other person's position.
Josephine Ferrer Fernandez, the Vice President and Head of Human Resources at China Bank Savings, joins Sha Nacino, one of the world's top 30 motivational speakers. Josephine, also a labor and corporate lawyer, brings decades of HR leadership experience into the workplace by driving organizational transformation.
The more resentment you have, the more creative you are in your story. As resentment is like trying to hurt someone else in your life. If you step 1 or 3 steps back, then you will see a different view. For me, what is good about conflict is that you bring down conflict to a level where you're willing to consider it as just a difference of opinion. Friends would ask me, how did you even forgive the person? Or you really seriously forgot about it? If you want me to remember it, I can. But I have to make a choice. Make the choice now. You want to stay wounded or you want to stay wiser?
We're talking about forgiveness for this podcast episode. So I'm very curious. What inspired you to focus on this particular topic for our podcast session right now?
Actually, forgiveness is one topic that most people would avoid probably to discuss. But at my age, I'm a baby boomer. So I have seen a lot, heard a lot. And I feel like I think a lot of people are trapped in a situation where they carry the burden of resentment. So sometimes when I ask, like, why do you feel that way? And why is a story keep playing in your mind? And the same story keeps you sad. And sometimes even becomes a barrier for them to do something more. And they said, because there's something in them that they cannot just release because they cannot forgive some people that have caused them hurt in the past. So, I am blessed. I think, Sha, I like to claim that the data space in my heart is so small that I don't keep a lot of things in it. So I have this tendency, even when I was younger, that I only choose things kept inside me. And
Yes.
very, very few would be retained. And I think over the years, when I got older and became very well accustomed to being in corporate, it was a blessing because I chose a lot of things not to be remembered, not to be in my heart, and so it releases me easier than most people.
Yes.
So friends would ask me, how did you even forgive the person? Or you really seriously forgot about it? I said, if you want me to remember it, I can. But I have to make a choice. Like, will remembering it, reminiscing it, still aligned to what I want to do today or in the next few days or next year? If it doesn't anymore, it's totally like zapped from my database.
Yes, that's a very wise move, right? To offload the memories of things that you've already forgiven, or instances that you've already forgiven. And I can resonate with that because, for example, I had a conflict with a friend or with someone, and we were able to resolve it. And so we're good. So I tell my brain, okay, please offload this information. And sometimes when I talk to that friend, and that friend would remind me, I remember when we had conflict and I did this, and I don't remember. I don't remember because I already offloaded, because our mind can only focus on so many things, right? On a couple of things, right? And so I offload information that I don't need anymore so I can create mind space.
That's a blessing, Sha. Because with your experience, the way you related it, I'd like to just say what I feel about forgiving. It's not free. It's not for free. You don't just say, okay, it's forgotten. Because for me, there must be a reckoning point all the time. Because something happened and someone was hurt and probably could have cause at the very least disturbance, no? But at the most, probably it could have changed somebody else's life. And so reckoning point means you don't act like a judge all the time, but we try to find out what happened exactly. Because you see, as humans, we always play stories in our mind. And we play stories according to how we want to remember them, how we want to make us feel like we're winning, how to make us feel like we're ahead of other people. So for me, I say forgiveness is not for free, because at one point in time you sit down and think about what exactly happened. I think writing the right story, the right script is critical. You do allow yourself to recreate the scene, recreate the conversation, the situation, when you are dwelling so much on anger, on resentment, sadness. So when you know exactly what the story is, then that is when you really have a conscious choice to write down the story as it was. Okay.
So it's very important to determine what is the story that we're telling ourselves, right? So let's talk about forgiveness, especially in the context of the workplace. And you mentioned a while ago about resentment. What are the instances wherein resentment can creep in, especially in the organization? So you're a labor law lawyer, and you're also the head of HR of China Bank Savings.
Yes.
So for sure you've seen a lot of things happening in the workplace.
Yeah.
Can you recall a story when someone offended someone in the workplace? It could be your personal story, it could be a story of someone you know of, or someone who shared that story with you, wherein this person was offended and there was no reconciliation, no reckoning, and because of that, resentment grew, and it actually affected the performance of either or both of the individuals involved.
Oh, okay. Several stories cross my mind. So I'll share with you a story or a couple of stories, but then not necessarily in the company I'm with right now. One story I can recall vividly now is I got involved because being head of HR, it would normally be the person they'll go to when there's conflict, right?
Yeah.
So I was wondering why certain projects, certain activities cannot move on, or there are a lot of things that are happening that become barriers to doing things. And I asked why. Is this because the people leading that activity were not in good terms? And I said, what is that? So when they came to me, it's been a long running, like few months of resenting each other. But you see, when we dissect what was the resentment all about, it's like, again, what I say, people would feel like they were defeated when they say sorry, or people would say, would always think they must win. So the situation was like, the top management, for example, I think gave some commendation. But one of them said the commendation belongs to the person. The person is not for that person. But the person cannot have that. He said there was no chance to even rectify the sort of like a mistake or the wrong. Let's say attribution of the accomplishment. But I said, what was wrong? And so the other person feels like the person is dishonest. Okay, the other person said that thinks that the person claiming the commendation is petty. Okay, so what happens there is that they can't work together, and the company will suffer.
Yes.
And so what I did in that situation is that we had to sit down and what's the story? What was the story?
Right.
So they were both playing stories in their mind. So the one who was commended just made sure he believed it was just his, because it has happened already, and they said it will make it worse if they're still going to, make some corrections. The other person is not giving because the person is competing. So I said the story is because of it's competition. So, when you compete and you continue to compete, even if you know that it can destroy other people already, I said you will always want to be self-validated, and that is difficult. If you want to be self-validated all the time, you want to be you want to get the credit all the time. You don't resent the other people. You might start resenting yourself for not being able to be in that situation. Why you did such a job and somebody else has got the commendation. So that was the issue of the first person. The second person who got it said, why didn't you even mention that, you work with this person and the result was because you both collaborated. This person felt like he owes the person an apology and he didn't actually think about it because in an awarding ceremony, it's like, people are like, in their high spirits. So
Yes.
it didn't cross his mind. So they made amends, but there were boundaries and for a time they cannot work together.
Oh.
So this is very crucial in organizations.
Yes. And what's good about what happened to the both of them was that there was a mediator. You came in, so there's a chance for them to hear where each other is coming from. So somehow it could, they can let the steam off somehow.
yes. Yeah, sometimes listening is the most important. So when you listen to both of them and you know that they are executives in their own right, and you will be wondering like, why are they still in that situation where they'd like to prove themselves all the time? So I say, you don't have to, because whatever you do, we'd have to show everybody what you're capable of doing. But if you're consciously trying to steer your career somewhere but you're not like that, or your capability is not enough, then one day you will feel frustrated too, and you will blame other people, and then you can forgive what other people will be doing, but unconsciously you are actually creating a disturbance in yourself. So I always feel for me that if I don't feel enough, I'd like to look at how can I be better. But I don't ever look at other people, because otherwise you will find another person who you can blame, and something might happen in your relationship, and here you go. Here's another issue of, are you gonna forgive? Are you gonna apologize? It's not gonna be productive at all.
So there's a lot of inner work that's happening. What do you think about conflicts in the workplace?
Conflicts arise only when you take a position without considering the other person's position. And secondly, if you take a position of your own without aligning it to organizational position or goal. Because if there is a specific organizational objective, there's no way you cannot align. You take a position differently. So conflict is when you insist on what you feel is right. That's another topic, Sha. Like, when you always want to be right, that's a problem. The other thing is that conflict arises because you do not believe in the other person's capability, or you believe that the outcome may not be to your favor. So to me, conflict is actually self-inflicted.
So going back to the inner work.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think there are necessary and healthy conflicts?
Oh, it's necessary. It's not necessarily a conflict, but if you can focus on constructive feedback, if you are conscious about being transparent, and putting all the issues on the table, I think there's a bigger chance that conflict will not arise, because you will know exactly from the very beginning where the other person is coming from. So for me, what is good about conflict is that you bring down conflict to a level where you're willing to consider it as just a difference in opinion.
Yes.
Because conflict, when you get to the point already, there's a crossroad. There is a standstill. people would either like say yes or no. But when you go down a little bit and it's still up for discussion and you know that there are just differences in opinion and approaches, I think in the workplace, it's a lot more productive and it's a better workplace. Discussions will be very healthy.
In personal and professional settings, there are conflicts, and some people choose to face the conflict and talk about it. In some instances, they just choose not to talk to each other.
It's dangerous if you don't talk about what you know is already a conflict.
Yeah.
Then you make a choice. Will you be saddled with the burden of carrying that conflict, or you'd like to move forward and that conflict will be behind you, but it could bring you somewhere else? Because, you know, when there's conflict, for me,
Yeah.
it makes me wiser after it. Because there could be conflict because my idea may not be enough also. I may learn from it. So I want to know, I want to dissect. You know, there's a book called The Anatomy of an Error. So I'd like to say Anatomy of the Conflict. Where did it start? Why is it a conflict? So chances are if you step 1 or 3 steps back, then you will see a different view. It's not really a conflict. It's just because you're insisting that that is different from yours. So again, it's a conscious decision again to step back and look at it again.
Yes, I love how you always refer to going inward and ask yourself, like, because sometimes when there are conflicts, the tendency is, what did she do? What's the situation? To go outside of yourself and sometimes look for other people to blame. But in our conversation right now, you always go back to inner work, asking yourself and going inward. So I like that. It talks a lot about self-awareness as a person, as a leader, and also taking accountability.
Yeah, you hit the chord right. Accountability is critical. You know, if you're not accountable for anything, chances are you always get through conflicts. And conflicts you will avoid because you don't have the solution.
Right.
You know what? A while ago, I said about the conscious effort of knowing exactly the story so that you know the facts. No? The second one is using your heart. Like, what exactly do you feel right now? Because if you deal with your feelings, like, is it really resentment? Resentment is to me, is heavy. Because it's a vague feeling. You resent, and then so what do you do? It's almost without a solution. Are you angry? But angry could be, being angry could be just like a moment, a minute, just a day.
Yes.
And it can pass, no? Or are you feeling like neglected? So you want to be important. So that one, you can ask yourself, like, why do you want to be important? Why do you want to be acknowledged? Okay. The other one is that you felt like you're always giving. That's another thing. Like, why is it always me? Why should I always apologize? So those feelings are just like the level of your heart. So you just have to think about what exactly are you feeling. So I have to address there's the reason why that feeling is so. So you will be fortunate if you're so angry right now, because you'll say, oh, I'm angry, but maybe tomorrow I'll just sleep through it and the anger might be gone. So you decide on your story once again, depending on what you feel. The more resentment you have, Sha, the more creative you are in your stories. And the mind, and you know, anger or resentment is like trying to hurt someone else in your mind. Can you imagine that? How could you? It's like digital. It's like you got to hold it, diba? But you're trying to punish someone in your mind. Who is being punished in the end?
You.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. I think I read somewhere in Reader's Digest when I was young, getting angry at someone and taking revenge
Oh.
is like is like killing it's like burning your entire house for a rat.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Do you, I think I read a book, Beyond Revenge. But, when I was, reading through it, there's only one conclusion in my mind. Revenge is actually the most vile thing that you like to do, because you will self-destruct. You will self-destruct. So, if you look at history of the world, a lot of things happen. There are wars that started just because you wanted to get even with another person. But you see, even mathematically, how do you calculate getting even? To me, at my age, I don't see parity at all in anywhere. I might be faulted by your audience or your listeners, but I never see anything fair enough. And there's nothing that is fair enough for everyone. So if you try to work towards getting something fair for you all the time, you will be in trouble. You'll be in trouble. And revenge is very strong because you want to equate the hurt that you feel, which fortunately or unfortunately you create on your own. You want that to be felt by another person. You want to avenge yourself, and so therefore, the situation is that you feel like a victim. That's very difficult.
Yeah, and when you feel like a victim, you actually gave away your power, because if you're a victim, then someone else has power over you.
Of course, yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, Attorney Joe, in my work as a speaker and also as a leadership development trainer, I see a lot of struggles from employees, or challenges from employees and also leaders. And I could say that I could see the suffering in the workplace. Of course, there's always suffering, like there's suffering in personal relationships. In the workplace, the suffering that I see is employees who don't feel safe, seen, appreciated. And leaders, they have a lot on their plate. They report to their leader. They have team that they lead. They have their own deliverables.
Yes.
And so even as a leader, you're still a human being. You still want to feel safe, seen, appreciated. But because of the demands of your job, you tend to focus on results more. And when you do that, the employees feel unappreciated. And that's where I feel resentment, or I see resentment creeps in and disengagement begins. So now I'm very curious, because you have a lot of experience in the corporate world. What were some of the causes of resentment in the workplace? Or what are some of the instances? One instance that I could remember was there's this leader who felt unappreciated because he did the work.
Yeah.
And then his leader praised the entire team in front of the mancom, but he did not praise that person who did 100% of the work.
Yeah, exactly the story I just told you about. But you see, I'd like to look at it differently. If I'd like to speak to this to the person who was resenting another person, how much commendation, how much reward, how much let's say accolade do you want? For me, maybe I speak for a minority of people who have been in corporate for a long time. To me, being rewarded in front of people, or being given that honor of being the person who did this and that, is not as important. What's important to me is that at the end of the day, I made the organization I joined a lot better than when I joined it. And when people expect others to reward them, or to commend them, or even give the credit to them, to me it's a dangerous situation, because you only live for the credit. But people will say, "Oh, Joe, it's almost impossible not to, because that's why we work." But to me, the more permanent relevance that you have is that, did you make the change? And did the change actually help people? At the end of the day, Sha, when you all retire and sit back and people would contact you again to reconnect, the stories that you will tell to each other are the things that have happened during that time, commended or not, rewarded or not, but made people's lives in the corporate setup better. Did you, for example, in HR, did the person make it better for other people to stay in that workplace? Did they get what is due to them? Did they actually have the opportunity to be better people? So if those things are if your answers are is that yes, they actually say thank you because they had that.
Yeah.
For me, it's more than enough. If I get the awards before, of course, I get them displayed probably. I get those envelopes that gave me those rewards. But at the end of the day, when I look back at what I did, it didn't actually make a difference. It might, that is when probably I will not have a restful retirement. I didn't do a lot, enough to help other people. Sha, I like to tell you about what the types of people that we meet in the
Yes.
organization. Some are because the circumstances brought you together. You met somewhere and you get connected. Some are seasonal. That is the workplace. While you're working, while in that company, these people are people you work with and deal with, right? But are they forever? But of course, you have family, your loved ones. Whether you like it or not, the design is that you will stay together forever, right? So if I have those classifications, the ones I just meet and, forge a relationship later on, the ones I work with and we earn a livelihood together, could be short or long, and the people I have no choice but to be with forever, then the way I deal with them, the way I demand things from them will be a lot different. And the way how I'm forgiving on what they do against me will be so different. I don't know if that helps, but just trying to organize your thoughts about where is this person placed in my life.
Yes.
It
Yes.
will change everything.
So how would you forgive some, let's say, the same offense was made against you by these three types of people?
Okay.
What is your process in forgiving them? Or what's the mindset behind it, and how do you forgive them?
Yeah, you're right. Forgiving is a process. It can't be instant. But as I've mentioned a while ago, there has to be a reckoning point. You can't allow a person that you have forgiven to have that license to do it again.
Yeah.
And it would be more hurting for me if another person is the victim or another person is the recipient of that. Because if it is down to me again, I think I know I have my guards up and I know how to deal with it. But if the person, despite forgiving the person, still does it, other person who is actually innocent and very raw, vulnerable, then the forgiveness I gave went to nothing. I want the person to rectify a mistake. Forgiving that is not free again, no? But I forgive by telling the person the story that has happened. This is how it happened. We have to agree. And then say, this is how I felt after that. No, this is the situation when you did that. And then the third one would be, you have to act. So your head, your heart has to be, your hands must also work. Like, what is the next move then? Then let's do this. This is what you have to do to prevent it from happening again. This is what you have to do specifically for the person or for me, because that will actually close the whole gaping wall, hole that's showing how hurt I was. So because I don't want that person to do it again to other people.
What if the other person is not open to having that conversation or doesn't even see the mistake that he did?
Well, I won't stop like making the person to understand.
Mhm.
But it depends again who is the person.
Yes.
Just I just met, I work with, or my family. If it's family, I will not tire talking to the person and showing the person the way.
Wow.
If it's at work, it depends on how it aligns with the goal. If I can set aside my relationship with the person because I have a bigger accountability to the organization, I'll just do that. Because it's so unfair. That is unfair, no? Unfair for other people
Yes.
who watch us get into a rift.
Yes.
Everything else is being affected. So I walk away. Walking away is not losing. Walking away actually is giving your intelligence a little, uptick, or putting your intelligence into a pedestal a bit. The reason why you are intelligent enough is because you knew when to stop.
Yes.
You knew when to step.
Choose your battles.
Yes, you have to choose your battles. That's right. Yeah.
So let's say a middle manager is watching this podcast right now, and he has a little bit of resentment towards his leader because during their company meeting, the leader called him out in front of everyone, and he got embarrassed. He got humiliated. And so he felt like what the leader did was unjust. He believes that a leader should praise in public, reprimand in private. But he doesn't have the heart to face that leader and tell that leader how he feels. What would you advise that middle manager?
Okay. First of all, if I have the chance, I'll talk to the leader to at least play by the book. I say, by the book will say, don't reprimand people in front of other people. I say the book because for me, you won't believe what I say, Sha. It doesn't matter. You humiliate people, or you call out people what everybody is present, or you do it
In private.
in private. I have a barbaric thought on that. It's the same. It's the same. It's just that, if you do it in public, you are a weak leader. Because why do you need an audience? Okay? For the middle manager, I say, keep your cool. Like, do what you can do best and find out why that story played out, why you were called out, exactly what are the facts. And you have to gather enough strength to go to the manager, to the leader, and talk about the story. But this time you do it without your heart, controlling everything. Because that will make you the winner. If your boss of your leader cannot have that courage to just face you and teach you why something was not right, because the person is a leader, you're better as a middle manager because you can play out the right story, the facts, and then you can offer a solution. I think the middle manager is in a better situation now.
Yes.
One day, Sha, even if that was done and there was shaming, people would raise hell, but say, let it play out, because one day you will redeem yourself. Yeah, it's not things will not stop from there. Again, there was a coward boss holding to slack, but the middle manager should make sure that something must happen and address the situation, not to avenge himself, but just to prove that he can do more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, for the part of that leader, let's say, after some reflection, he realized, I shouldn't have done that. But now I feel like if I say sorry, it may sound like it's an admission that I made a mistake. So what would you advise that leader?
You go back where you did it. For me, you never undo anything unless you do the way it was done before. So you did it in public, then when the next meeting, say so.
Say sorry in public.
For me, I've been in corporate for almost 40 years. So I don't have qualms in apologizing. Any chance that I know I made a mistake, especially when I hurt people's feelings, because I think you can sense that I speak my mind at
Yes.
most times. And so, but I always, say the reason why I did it, and I know that I'm wrong, but I will not do it again, and that I want to apologize. And I do it anywhere, because why wait for the opportune time? People will say, when the time comes, I will apologize. Really? When is the right time?
Yes.
Because the faster you make the person feel better, will be better for everyone. Yeah.
Wow. Why is it so hard for people to say sorry and also to forgive?
Because they want to win all the time. It's very human to be to feel that. They want to be ahead of other people. But why? Why do you want to be ahead of other people? Why do you want to be in a higher rank? Why do you want to be the person they call boss? Why do you want to be the person in the biggest room? Why? People who ask for that are actually not as good as what they think they are. Because you can be better anywhere. You don't have to do that. So forgiveness is just like that. When they forgive, they felt they lost. Something was taken from them. So they will have to keep tab of everything that other person did. Then they have a whole record, a logbook, if you want to imagine it that way, of what people did to them. Wow. Do you want to be burdened by that book? And then the other people would just say, I'm good. That person should be good also. So if they're hard on themselves, they're hard on other people. That's why it's hard for them to forgive. Because you say, me, I can do it. How can't you do it? I never get into the a troublesome situation. I never say those bad things. You did that to me. Why can't you just fix yourself?
Oh, so what you said about if they hard on other people, it means they're also hard on themselves.
Yes.
So it could be that it's difficult for you to forgive the other person because it's also difficult for you to forgive yourself.
Oh, yeah. You said it so right. Yes. Yeah, yes. Actually, now you are bringing us to another thought that you have to forgive yourself first. Yeah. Forgiving yourself is actually cleansing. Myself, I always forgive myself for things I do that are not supposed to be done, I think.
Yes.
But my bar is myself. If I'm no better than yesterday, I think I have to ask myself, like, why? If I did something wrong and I hurt some other people, I always castigate myself, like, do you really have to do that? Then I try to imagine, why did I say that? And chances are I find the answer. I had an inadequacy. It's something I cannot do. And the way to plug that gap is do something not so good to other people.
So how do you forgive yourself?
I try to be better. I try to be better.
So, I'm a Catholic. I go for confession every month, and that's very cleansing. Like what you said, cleansing. You hear the absolution, and then the more God forgives me, the more I can be forgiving to other people, and especially to myself. And there is this something that I already confessed years before, and I keep on confessing every month. And then it dawned on me, wait a minute, Sha, you've already been forgiven for that sin. It's just you. Why haven't you forgiven yourself? It's because I have this very high standard of how I should behave. And this was how I behaved, and God already forgave me. I only did it. I've done it, and then I didn't do it anymore. But for some reason, like, why did you do that, Sha? It's so not you. And so I just had to, be a little kinder to myself and tell myself that, come on, Sha, God already forgave you, and I love you. I forgive you. So it's also a decision. Forgiveness is a decision, and it's harder to forgive yourself than to forgive another person.
Yes. Be kind to yourself.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. But you have to be true to yourself too.
Right.
You can write down your limitations. Sometimes there are nights when in my reflections I write, so that when you write it, I don't know, the motor skills or something, will keep you remember it.
Yes.
I write my limitations. Sometimes, one limitation I have is that when somebody says something that doesn't fit in what I'm thinking, I can keep it to myself and I say what I think right there. And it's a limitation sometimes because the other person is not ready. So you have to keep it to yourself first, and maybe next time, the different situation, you can express what you think. But be
Yes.
kind to yourself, because
Right.
how you see yourself is how you see other people too.
That is so true. My journey, my self-love journey began in 2019.
Okay.
And when I learned to love myself more, better and healthier, I became more accepting of other people and also of the emotions of other people.
Yeah, especially when you're into relationships. For example,
Okay.
married life,
Okay.
shot, no? This is another, you have a person that you are bound to be with forever.
Yes.
Yeah. So it will be a struggle if you're not kind to yourself, because you have to tell yourself that it is a relationship that you can contribute more on, that you can make it alive, and something that gives you life, just because you are willing.
Yes.
Because when you get into a relationship, remember, you're marrying a stranger. And I always say na your husband is that family. The family that I believe, the family, like same way of being brought up, or there's a blood relation or something. So can you imagine how much adjustment it will
Right.
take, right? So there will be forgiveness, little forgiveness, a tiny forgiveness, every second, every minute of the day, especially in the beginning when you're trying to establish what is a common ground. So, why is forgiveness very critical in a relationship? Are we going to discuss that, Sha? Okay. All right. Forgiveness is because you try to give in little by little, because you are trying to come up with a common ground.
Yes.
Okay. You don't forget about your old self. You don't try to change the other person, but I think get to a middle ground. So get to a middle ground, and you're going to see some things that you will never like. Or something in you that's revolting, because if you were the one who did it, it can be like that. Same thing with the other person, for sure. It's just that if you say that's the way he did it, you just understand why. That's not my way. And then maybe you ask yourself, do you want to do it yourself? Because if you want to do it yourself, the middle ground gets lost.
Yes.
Then you say, okay, so I forgive the situation. I'm gonna stand back and just be conscious about what will affect the middle ground. Okay. But if it doesn't affect the middle ground, and it's just an expression of the other person on how he is or she is, let go.
So it's a daily decision to forgive.
It will be.
The little things and the big things.
Yeah, some people claim that they have a perfect marriage, they have a perfect relationship, or what is it they say? Match made in heaven or something. I don't claim that, because the beauty of forgiving and struggling day by day is that you have a reason to keep that middle ground in there.
What is your non-negotiable when it comes to marriage? Of course, so we're still talking about marriage because they say that you don't bring your personal problems to work, but in reality, when we have problems at home, we bring them to work, right? So what is your non-negotiable when it comes to marriage? Of course, we want to keep the marriage intact, but what would make you say, enough is enough, this is too much, something needs to change, he needs to change?
I think
Or she needs to change.
violence. Violence. Okay. If you ask for the second one, maybe infidelity, but for me, violence.
Violence.
Infidelity is something that you choose to deal with. It's hard to forgive infidelity, okay? Because it's hard to define. But I've talked to people, and some people have forgiven
Yes.
completely, and the other person is not completely reformed. See, so forgiveness continues. But infidelity is also something you can never control. I don't think personally that if you're a good wife, you're a good husband, your spouse will stay faithful. That's why that one I don't want to dwell with. For as long as there's no violence, I think I can keep the relationship, or I can advise that people keep the relationship. But violence is already an assault to your person. You know?
Yes.
It will be, I think, you believe in God. And your God-given wisdom, your God-given, you were created in the image of God, right? But you allow people to trample into it, to be violent.
Oh, yes.
And destroy you. You will leave nothing for yourself. Violence can be physical, it can be verbal, right? So you have to put a stop to it, because
Right.
it might erode you, and it may no longer allow you to even appreciate yourself. How could you even forgive yourself then? Will you forgive a broken person? How? The broken person cannot even understand forgiveness. And if you allow violence to rule your marriage, good if you don't have children. But you see, you bring children to this world innocent,
Yes.
so innocent that they will only follow you the way you show them what life is. So, you know, if you have 1, 2, 3, 4 children, you're gonna create people so different from what they should be. So they will be witnessing how accepting you are from violence.
Yes. And they might think that that's the norm.
Yes.
And they might recreate it in their future
Of course they will.
families.
Because it becomes the norm, and and they know it can happen, and yet things will be repaired. The middle ground continues to be in place.
Yes.
Even for example, if it happens to me, and even after this lifetime, I will literally turn in my grave. Like, what did I do?
Yes.
I allowed innocent beings to become the people they are,
Yes.
because I allowed it.
And
So violence cannot be allowed.
yes.
You have to put a stop. You know, something crossed my mind, Sha. I don't know if it's still in the topic, but
Yeah.
I work with battered women. I feel for them. But why is battery called battery? Because there's a kind of forgiveness that they give. It's a cyclical forgiveness. But that's not the forgiveness we're talking about. Because we never look at the real story. We just allow it to happen because your heart is continuing to dominate what you want. You want to keep the marriage, you love the person, but it is clouded already. That's why it's battery, because it keeps coming back. So, but what types of people have I talked to that made me come up with a belief that if you're not economically or financially independent, if, for example, you are man or woman saying,
Yeah.
battery is just at the door.
Oh.
Because you will hold on, you hang on. Why? Because you will lose everything.
Right.
Why? Because you cannot exist on your own. So, let's not use forgiveness in that situation.
Right.
Because the forgiveness is the real one. We are clouded by emotions. We're clouded by the fear of losing everything. We're clouded by the fact that if the person leaves you, man or woman, wife or husband, that you will be nothing. You have to create your identity because you've been created like that. Remember, marriage is only a middle ground. It's not your total being. And you don't expect the other person to be totally into the relationship. Create a middle ground. I think it's safer. Safer.
What can you advise executives? Because I also see this happening in a lot of cases, lots of situations wherein, let's say, the woman is the sole provider in the family, and the woman is a C-suite leader, is an executive. The husband doesn't have work. And what happens is the husband still wants to be the leader in the family. And so to avoid conflict, because maybe the wife is also busy at work, she has a lot of concerns, she just lets the husband lead. Meaning the husband's not really a leader, but she just, makes the husband feel that he's the leader just to avoid conflict. So the wife brings all the money, the husband dictates what happens in the family. The wife, when she comes home, she also takes care of the grocery, everything, running the house, everything. The husband will be served food. So what is your advice to that wife who doesn't want conflict? Because I have a lot of things to deal with at work, and I don't want to deal with my husband, because if I fight with my husband, if I share my concern, the husband may not understand, and they will just fight.
And it will affect your work.
Yes, it will affect your work. It will affect your peace and your energy. You're just saving your energy. So what is your advice for women who want to see, okay, what's a better way of dealing with this?
Yeah. Either I'm HR talking to you now, or I'm a lawyer. Okay? So, but let me just, this is a joke, but my question is, what was your middle ground? Because you made a choice. You made a choice to marry the person. What was the middle ground? So maybe none. Because you use words like dictate. To me, dictate the way to describe it is violence. Yes, it is violence. Because when you dictate on people, you're closed, and you just like, you have your own way of doing it. That's why you're dictating, because the person is not willing to do it. Right? That's violence. If your middle ground says no violence, that things can be talked about, there should be nobody who can dictate. Okay? The other one is bringing the money. In this age and time, I see a lot of very accomplished people, women, and chances are, sometimes the husband is not in the same level. But again, what is your middle ground? Is your middle ground saying that you must be earning the same and the husband more? Is your middle ground say that only one person should have a career? Or is your middle ground will allow both of you to explore what is good for the family? Again, let's go back to the middle ground, because this did not just happen overnight. So if you can help the husband get maybe revive a career, or there are many ways, or the husband can also help the wife. It depends again on what is it that would bind you. If it's only money, Sha, I don't advise getting into a relationship like that. If money will control everything, and you can't do groceries, you cannot clean the floor because you have more money, I think you're not in a relationship that would last. Because even if for example, that example that you have, that woman, does it mean that if you are executive and you earn a lot, that you don't do house chores? I think you're also depriving yourself with what you can do, or you're depriving yourself of what is normal. Now, how about the husband? Why is the husband dictating? So if you go by the books, they always say ego, the pride, because the middle ground started with the husband being on top of everyone. It's biblical, all right, but you have to read through. The Bible is not read by chapter. It's like a guitar. You strum the different strings because all what's in there.
Contextual.
Yeah, contextual. The head of the family is the man, right? But being the head of the family means that you have to earn a lot. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think so. So is being head of the family dictating on people? I don't think so. I don't think so. In ancient times, when you read stories, the woman is the workhorse, diba? That's why sometimes you see paintings like, why are they so plump and big and everything? And I say, because Joe, that was the time when they work hard. So meaning to say, I'll go back to the topic. It's like create your middle ground. My advice to the executive, the woman executive that you mentioned, redefine your middle ground, and then talk to the husband. If violence, which is dictation, is one of them, still prevails, I hope not. Why are you beefing the relationship?
So even just words can be a form of violence.
Of course, it's more powerful. Physical, you know how painful it is, but physical pain goes away, right?
Yes, yes.
You just put anything topical, it goes away. It's for me, it's superficial. But the pain of words spoken, the facial expression, the situation itself is very difficult to erase. It's very difficult to erase. That's when you start forgiving yourself for the inability to recast the story through forgiveness. You keep playing the same scene in your mind. You nurture it. You provided a nesting ground for what will bring resentment. Why do you keep playing the story? So true forgiveness means that you play the right story and then decide to move away from it. To move away from it.
Disclaimer, that is not a story of someone I know. That is just one of the stories I read somewhere.
Okay.
And then sometimes the situation would also be the woman would finally leave the husband, and now she becomes a single mom or a chick. Yeah. So
It's hard if you have children, but it's also hard to stay in a relationship that is violent, because again, I tell you, I know the child is precious for me, and this child should be raised differently. No violence. But when you leave the husband, I think it has been broken way ahead. It's not only because of the situation you described. I think I can guess right now, but there must have been something more. It's in the core of the relationship.
I see.
For me, leaving your husband is being a coward. If you face a situation and try to create middle ground, I'm talking about. I think it's more like what we're expected of us,
Yes,
human
yes.
beings, no?
Yes.
But violence in terms of physical violence, you can get killed. Yeah. Please walk away, because it's also wrong to just be battered all the way.
Yes.
Whew. it is. Yeah.
Thank you, Attorney Joe. I learned a lot from this conversation. This is very
Me too.
It's like a reflection. So thank you so much. If there's a leader watching right now and he has a little bit of resentment towards someone from the past, maybe in the workplace, maybe someone in amongst his friends or her friends, what would you advise that leader? What is the one thing he or she can do right now to kind of ease whatever pain or hurt he or she is still carrying because of that resentment?
Okay, make the choice now.
Mm-hmm.
You want to stay wounded or you want to stay wiser?
Make the choice now.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Making that choice is very powerful. So, Attorney Jo, I've asked you a lot of questions. I picked your brain. So now I want to give you a chance to ask me one question.
Yeah. Actually, I wanted to ask you, Sha.
Mm-hmm.
You're very accomplished as a person. And what do you think about forgiveness where there is no concrete improvement from the other person? You have done your part. You are a motivational speaker. You've spoken with the person. And you're ready to forgive. In fact, you did.
Yes.
But when the person doesn't, gets it at one point, but again, there is a repeat of the situation. What do you do?
Actually, that happened to me a couple of years ago. I was scammed by 3 people, one after the other. And they didn't ask sorry. They didn't ask forgiveness. So these people were people I considered friends. And my first, the first thing I did was, of course, to cry. Actually, every time I think about the situation, I would cry because I would feel so helpless. How did this happen? Why didn't I see it coming? But then I made a decision. God, I forgive this person. I made a decision. I didn't even have to talk to them because they were out of reach already. So there was no reconciliation, but I made a decision. God, I forgive them. Bless this person. And when I was saying that, I felt like a hypocrite because no, God, I don't want you to bless them. But this was what I learned from my mentor, Bo Sanchez, that when someone offends you, forgive and then bless the person. And how can I? But because I trusted my mentor, Bo Sanchez, is so wise, I decided to give it a try. And so, God, I forgive this person. I actually feel so angry towards this person, towards them, about what they did to me. And also, I feel angry towards myself because I allowed them to actually scam me. So I would pray that every time. I would pray that, like, God, I forgive this person. It's so hard. Teach me to forgive myself. And God, I don't want to say this, but please bless that person. I wish that person well. It was so difficult, but after a few months, when I recall that story, there is no emotional charge anymore. And I received a very beautiful gift from those 3 experiences. And the gift is, I would call it trust meter.
Oh, okay.
So meaning,
Interesting.
when I go to an event, especially events outside the Philippines, a lot of people would come up to me and tell me, Sha, let's do a project together. Oh, you did this online summit. Let's do something together. And even if I don't have any information about you, any data about you, I could easily sense, this person is a doer. This person, he's a starter, but he won't finish. He will expect me to finish. I'm not judging you, but I can sense people now. So now, even when people want to guest on my podcast, I could sense, this person wants visibility, just that. I could also sense, this person really, really wants to share. And I could sense that, like, when you messaged me, I already sensed you. So I have that gift of discernment. And I'm so grateful that those 3 people played a role in my life. Of course, it was very painful, but I'm so grateful to them because they played a role in my life so that I won't be the naive Sha. Sha who just trusts everyone. And when you tell me something, I'll just believe it because I don't have trust issues. But now I can be discerning. Like, you can tell me all the good things. I can see right through you. You're just, bluffing. So I have that. And I cannot explain how I do it, but it's been serving me so well, and it's been serving my community so well as well.
Okay. You became wiser.
Yes.
You didn't stay wounded.
I became wiser because here's something that I also tell myself, that This should make me better, not bitter.
Yes.
So even in personal relationships or romantic relationships, I've been heartbroken many times, and I would know if I'm over, if I moved on, if I can think back, if I can think about that person, and the only things I feel for him is, number one, gratitude for all the learnings. Actually, that's it. Just gratitude. Gratitude, like, thank you for everything. I learned a lot. Of course, it was so painful. I don't want to go through that pain again, but I'm done with the pain. I'm good now. And I'm just so grateful for the role you played in my life.
Yeah.
So I can honestly say that I don't have any grudge towards anyone. Of course, I get angry when I see the DPWH scandal, but,
To be angry.
yeah, I don't have any grudge towards anyone.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, people will be watching this or probably, and they belong to different faith or religions. But at the end of the day, I think when you give something good, it goes back to you. I don't know.
Exactly. Yes.
They call it many names, but
Yes.
that's why when somebody would ask me, Atty, should I really apologize? I said, will it kill you? It doesn't kill you to apologize. Just be sincere about it.
Yes.
Oh. And then what if my apology is not accepted? It doesn't matter, because then again, if you go back, so you want it accepted, don't expect too much. When you apologize, ladies and gentlemen, don't expect that your apology is accepted, but you release yourself from it, because you don't carry the burden,
Yes.
because it's so heavy in your heart,
That's true.
and it will show in the way you deal with other people.
It takes a lot of humility and courage to ask for forgiveness.
Humility is a virtue that I wish I will have forever, and I wish people I love would always carry with them, because it will hurt. It can actually see you through life. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Attorney Joe,
Thank you
for
so
making time and
you so
sharing
much.
your
An honor.
insights. Yeah, the pleasure is mine. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
More power to you.
You too.
Thank you for tuning in to the Fearless Possibilities Leadership Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, I have a small favor to ask. Please like this video and subscribe. It's a simple way to help us reach and inspire more leaders. Okay, I'll give you a few seconds to do that. Done? Alright, thank you so much. Again, this is Sha Nacino. Stay human and keep unlocking possibilities.
In the age of AI, where data drives decisions and speed defines success, one factor still drives long-term performance: human connection. If you're a leader seeking to create a culture where joy and performance coexist, let Sha Nacino support you. Sha is the author of Seen: Good Leaders Have Vision, Great Leaders See. Her keynotes equip leaders with practical, research-backed strategies to build cultures where people feel safe, seen, and appreciated, thereby unlocking potential and igniting possibilities across your organization. Sha is a certified speaking professional, the global speaking profession's highest earned measure of platform competence, a TEDx speaker, former adjunct faculty at the Asian Institute of Management, host of the Fearless Possibilities Leadership Podcast, and one of the world's top 30 motivational speakers. She brings a global perspective, having spoken across Asia, Europe, North America, and Australia. Book Sha Nacino for your next event. Visit shanacino.com or email info@shanacino.com.